Hey guys, welcome back to another video. We're going to be reloading 45 ACP on a single stage press today. I've got 50 rounds, 230 grain, total metal jacket, round nose. Got my 45 ACP carbide reloading dies. We're going to be using red dot. I've got a bunch of brass right here. So we'll get our load data. I'm getting it out of the Spear reloading manual number 14 here. We're loading red dot. Starting charge is 4.8 grains. Maximum is 5.3. I've loaded this before, so I know 5 is good. I'm going to load 5 grains. So let's get going. Alright, now we're going to set up the die for decapping and sizing the 45. Start by putting the shell in the shell holder. Alright, now after we've loaded our shell holder, we're going to insert our depriming die, sizing die. This has got a carbide ring inside here, so when we set this up, we'll want to touch the shell holder and then back it off a little bit. We don't want to bring the shell holder up tight onto the end of this, as you could fracture that. So I've backed off the ring for us, and I've backed off the decapping pin. To preset the pin, if it hasn't been already, you need to have it extending past the end about 1/4 of an inch. As you look at it, bring it out about 1/4 of an inch. That's a good place to start. We'll screw the nut down. Run our ram up, screw the die down until it touches the shell holder. Once it touches, back it off just a hair, approximately for 3/30 seconds between the two. Tighten the lock ring down. I'm going to tighten it up with this lock ring here. I'm going to back this off a little bit. Once holding these together, back it off, tighten up that ring so it doesn't spin on your die. Okay, once that ring's tightened up, go ahead and run it down. A lot of people do it finger tight, and that's fine. I'm going to give it just a baby scotch like that. Okay, now we know it's properly set for depth, not touching the shell holder. Let's take a round that needs a shell that needs deprimed, stick it in the shell holder, run it up, and it popped it out right at the last bit of the stroke. That's when it should pop that primer out. Right, that last bit of the stroke. Right there. And it did not. Did it? Nope, it's stuck in there, see? This is good. So we want to turn this down. We're going to want to turn this down. Let's try it maybe a 1/4 turn, like so. There you go. Now if that's set right where we want it, we'll just give that, hold the top of it here, just tighten that nut down. Right there. Just give it a little snug. And you should never have to adjust that again. Let's grab another one here, check it. Bam. Alright, I'm making a mess of the longer room. Let's put this on here. Alright. There we go. Alright, I'm going to deprime the 50 of these to load up. We'll get right back to you. Alright, I'm decapping this last one here. While I've gone through 50 of these, I've inspected every one of them for case separations, split mouths, and just give them a good once over. Alright, now that I've got these cleaned up, if you want more detail on setting this die up, I've got a link up ahead. I'll put a card up there. I've got other videos on that. Also, we're going to clean this. I've got a sonic cleaner, I just love it, I just got it. So this will be my second batch of brass cleaning in it. So I'll put a link to the video up there. Wherever that may be, whatever. Anyhow, let's clean these up. I like shiny brass, so why not? Alright, so now we've got our nice shiny clean cases fresh out of their bath. Alright, it's time to bell the case mouths so they'll accept the bullet. Right now, the bullet just sits on the top. It doesn't really get started in there, and we need to open up that mouth just a little bit so that bullet will just sit right inside there, just a hair, without tipping over. So we'll get that set up. Now we'll set the sizing die up as if we're setting it up for the first time. So we're going to back the lock ring off. I'm going to open up the belling tool that's inside here. Now these, you're going to run the ram up, lower the tool down until it touches. We're going to back it off a turn, run the ring down until it touches. Go ahead and tighten this up. Tighten the ring up. I'm just going to snug it down by hand. Alright. Now the belling tool, if you look at these, if you feel it, it's to open up the case mouth, and then at the last stroke it starts to widen out. So that will go inside, and then at the last bit it'll open up the mouth. So we need to adjust it so it goes all the way inside. So put that in there, run your shell in, drop it down. You'll start to feel it entering the case mouth right about there. So then pretty snug. We'll drop it down and feel it. Now if it does, you want to stop right when it starts to open that mouth up, and ironically there it is right there. So you see how it just goes just inside. It's perfect. Good enough for me. So we're going to lock that ring down. Now we're ready to size the rest of them. See, not quite fit. Another sizer. Now it just fits just right inside there. Perfect. Now I'm going to do the rest of these 50. And heads up, don't put your primers in yet, because during this process, that belling tool will open up, will seal off the bullet, in essence like this, the case. And when it's pushing down, that pressure can either pop your primer out or make it proud so it's not seated correctly. So this is a step you'd want to do before you set your primers, okay? So we're going to do our case mouths and then we'll put in the primers. So let me do all 50 of these and then we'll get back to putting in the primers. I'm using CCI large primer, large pistol primers. And when you set your primers, after you've seated it, feel the back of that, make sure they're flush or in just a little bit. You want to check them, each one, make sure they're not proud. Okay, we'll set the primers in 50 of these. We'll load up some charges. Well, if you like the video, don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. I've got quite a few videos in the libraries you might check out. I've got 38, 357, 204. I need to do some 30-30. I shot some of that. That'd be kind of cool. Load up some of that. But yeah, check out the other videos. I've got more in-depth instruction on setting up the dies. So if you have questions about setting up the expander die or the crimping die, I got some good videos on that. If there's a video you'd like to see more in depth, I can always make one. Go into great detail for about 15 minutes on something. It's always cool. Alright, let me prime up the rest of these and we'll get to loading charges. Okay, so I've set my charges at 5 grains. I'm throwing them from the hopper here. So I'm going to throw 5 charges, 10 actually, throw 10 charges and check every 10th charge on the scale. Alright, now I've got these all set up to throw charges. Let's put one in here, throw a charge. Alright, so again we'll throw 5 of these, correction, 10. We'll throw 10 of these. And we'll check every 10th charge. And the reason why you can get away with that while loading these are these straight case. If it was rifle rounds, I would meter every one of them and use the trickle charger to bring up the grains slowly so that each one is precise. This is how I do it. You don't want to be throwing too much in a necked case. Alright, now that we've loaded up 10 of them, we'll check our throw. And you can see we're just a hair under, so I'm good with that. You know, 4.5 is our minimum. I'm just throwing lead down range. So that's just a grain maybe, or a point of a grain. So we'll go ahead and keep loading these. Alright, now we're going to check them and make sure, for one, all of them are loaded and have a charge in them. Number 2, there's no double charges. So we're looking for consistency and no double charges. If they were, you'd notice it. It'd be up the top of the shell. Alright, those look good. They're ready for bullet seating. Let's go on to the next step. Alright, now we're going to set up the bullet seating die. Let's loosen the lock ring here so we can demonstrate from the beginning. So this is the bullet seater and the crimping die at the same time. It's more like a taper crimp. It's not a roll crimp like your revolvers. This is going to get a taper crimp, so it's going to squish the sides in, because as we all know, 45s use the front of the case mouth to stop the shell. So that was smart. There went all that. There went that powder. Let's throw another charge. Alright, we're going to take a charged, primed case, set it in the shell holder, run that up. Going to screw the die down until it just touches, until you feel it touch the case. Right there. I'm going to back it off 1 full turn and run the lock ring down. Hold that in place. Now we'll put a bullet in here, a projectile. We're going to run this up into the, lower the bullet pusher down until it touches. Drop it down, do the 1 full turn. Check for our length. You can see that we've got a ways to go. So let's run that down a little bit more. Now our cartridge overall length is 1.260 that we're looking for. So we're going to use our calipers. After we get close, we're going to start checking it. 3/6 is 1, so I've got 1 10,000ths to go. 100ths to go. 2/6. 1.360, 1.260. 100 thousandths. So we'll keep running that down until we get 260. Maybe eighth turns at a time. Remember, we're just seating the bullet depth right now. We backed it off so it won't crimp yet. .260, 1.260. Alright, now we'll set the crimp. So remember, because these bullets headspace on the case mouth, we're not doing a roll crimp. We're just taper crimping it so it holds that bullet place during recoil. And you have enough shell showing on the edge here to stop the bullet when it's going forward. Now we're going to adjust the taper. You can see the crimp where it comes out right here, and that's a measurement we need at the base of the bullet. Got approximately 0.4695. Alright, 47 thousandths. Alright, 0.470. Alright. Up here at the crimp mouth we've got 0.469. 0.47, 0.46, 0.47, almost even. Yeah, it's even crossed. We want that top crimp up here to be 0.001 less. So I'm looking for 0.46. If we were to throw crimp on that, 0.46. So when we do this, we want to raise the bullet seater up all the way after we've seated our bullet depth. Now we're going to back that off. Alright. Loosen up the die. Raise the bullet up. And we're going to screw the die down until we feel resistance. Some firm resistance right there. Okay. Now let's drop that down. Whoops. Let's drop this down and check our crimp. And you can tell you're not rolling it. We're just looking 0.46 or 0.460. We got 47 still. I'm gonna do an eighth of a turn. Roll it up. Okay, so we've mic'd our crimp. I've got 4695 here at the top of the case mouth. 4690. Perfect. Now we'll check it in the chamber. Alright, so I've got my barrel out of my 45 over here, and we're just going to check it. Right there. Stops nice and smooth. Doesn't stick. Just drops right in there. Stops at the headspace is good. Stops right at the case mouth. Doesn't go up inside the barrel at all. So we'll move forward with adjusting the die. Now that we've got it set where we want it, we need to drop this down and seat our bullet depth. Now we've already checked it. This has been seated, so let's run our bullet back up in there. Screw the bullet seating down, seater down until it touches the head of the bullet. Screw the lock ring down. Tighten that up just a little bit. There. Now they're all set up. So check our overall length. .262. That's close enough. Check it here. Perfect.